Lexx. This is the right sector, I'm sure.
I don't see anything, Stan.
790, come on, you gotta help me. The Silly's Pleasure Transport is here somewhere.
I'm busy.
You're not busy.
And I have no motivation to assist you in your joyless quest for sexual relief.
Zev, being around you, it's not easy. I suffer, I hurt. I've got feelings too. I know you have no interest in me, but I would think, because of the extra sexual drive you got from your love slave transformation, that you, more than anyone, would understand my situation.
If you killed him, he'd stop talking.
Look, the women on the Silly's Pleasure Transport can give me what I need. They're really good. They're really... Oh.
Wouldn't they want money?
They're traders. You just give them something valuable and it's bingo, bongo, yum, yum time.
Bingo, bongo, dum-dum time.
Any men aboard?
As if that were of any interest.
No.
And what could you trade?
Well, I'm sure I could get a really pleasant enema in exchange for a robot head.
Please kill him now, Zev.
790. Locate the Sally's Pleasure Transport for Stan.
What?
You heard me. Why should we deny Stan the release he seeks?
You won't release Tweedle? Jump off the bridge!
790.
As you desire.
That's it! I'm home. And I had to make a decision. So I said, number 17 and number 42. And then I go into this little room. They both come in. Off go the clothes, on goes the oil, and then they start rubbing themselves all over me. And then...
Welcome. This is a famous Sally's Pleasure Transport. Cruising the universe to make your day a lovelier one.
I don't know if you remember me, but my name is Stanley Tweedle. That's, Stanley H. Tweedle. Permission to come aboard?
Welcome back, Stanley Tweedle. Permission granted.
All right, then.
Have fun, mighty captain of the Lexx.
Don't wait up for me.
If you only had a tongue.
Pretend that I do.
Welcome. This is a famous Sally's Pleasure Transport. Cruising the universe to make your day a lovelier one. Hello, Stanley Tweedle.
I'm here. And I already know what I want. I want number 17, number 43, and number 55. Hello? Anybody home?
Hello, Stanley Tweedle.
Hello.
Let it be known throughout the light universe that the arch-traitor Stanley Tweedle has been apprehended in a sting operation on the S02xe pleasure transport. Let me confirm. The arch-traitor Stanley Tweedle caused the destruction of more than 100 of our reformed planets has been arrested. Grand Prosecutor Jihana is currently traveling to the S02xe pleasure transport to provide the arch-traitor with the swift justice he deserves. Hallowed be the memory of the lost soul.
I think we have a problem.
Actually, I think it's more of a solution.
Welcome, Grand Prosecutor Jihana. Hallowed be the memory of...
I want to see him.
Of course.
We have to save him.
Why?
Why? Because we have to, that's why.
Is it right to save him if he is truly guilty of the crime with which he has been charged?
Oh, I don't believe that he did anything that incredibly bad. He couldn't have. He's too ineffective. Stanley Tweedle never gets anything done.
If he is innocent, then we will not need to save him. If he is guilty, then perhaps he should pay the price.
Well, he's our friend, Kai.
Then I suggest that we attend his trial.
Are you Stanley Tweedle?
Who are you?
More importantly, who are you? Are you Stanley Tweedle or are you not?
What am I doing here?
Let's start again. I ask questions, you answer them. Very simple. Now, tell me, are you Stanley Tweedle?
I am Stanley Tweedle, captain of the Lexx.
I've been waiting such a long time to meet you in the flesh.
I demand that I be freed immediately, or else...
Or else what, arch-traitor?
Or else, my friends on board the Lexx will destroy this vessel, and,
I don't think so. Your friends, Zeph and Kai, have been in communication with us and have requested to be guests at your trial.
My what?
Your trial. In behalf of the Committee of Justice for the Lost Souls, I hereby place you formally under arrest for the murder of 685,304 million people. Hallowed be the memory of the lost souls.
We have been invited.
Gentlemen! Thank you for your loyalty. But these two are my guests. Thank you, and the company forces are made up entirely from those who lost relatives at the reformed planets. They have dedicated their lives to bringing Stanley Tweedle to justice. You must appreciate their sensitivity. Tell me, what brought you together with Stanley Tweedle on the...
The Lexx.
We have nothing to say.
We escaped together from the cluster before it was destroyed.
Did you know Stanley Tweedle before that time?
No, I was not aware of him. In fact, until very recently, I was not aware of anything.
Nice to meet you. I must prepare. You will defend Stanley Tweedle to the best of your ability.
Grand Prosecutor Jihana, you asked the impossible. How can I, in all conscience, defend a man who I know, who we all know, is unquestionably guilty of this most terrible of crimes?
The accused must have a proper defense. You must commit yourself to the possibility of his innocence.
You're asking me to subvert the truth.
I'm asking you to discharge your duties as the legal representative for the defense of the accused. I believe you have a promising future. Will you accept the challenge?
Of course, Grand Prosecutor. If you request.
What are you doing? Where are you taking me?
Courtrooms.
Presumably the scales of justice have shifted since you were tried by the Divine Order for failing to perform your wifely duties.
Yeah? I believe it when I see it. Stan!
Siv, Kai, help me, Dave.
Silence!
Hello? I'm Public Defender Newell. I'll defend you as best I can.
Hello.
Hallowed be the memory of all souls. Judge Pendelbronk presiding. All rise.
This court is hereby convened by the Committee of Justice for the victims of the 94 reformed planets. There are potentially two phases to this trial. In the first phase, we will determine whether Stanley Tweedle is guilty or not guilty of the crimes with which he has been charged. If the facts show him to be guilty, the second phase of the trial will be to determine the nature of his punishment.
Please be seated.
He's not guilty. Not Stanley. He couldn't be.
Stanley H. Tweedle, you are accused of causing certain amino acids which carried vital military data to fall under the control of the forces of his shadow. As a result, those forces were able to launch a surprise attack and completely destroy the 100 defenseless reformed planets with a loss of 685 billion souls. How do you plead?
If you plead guilty, you can ask for the mercy of a quick and painless death.
It was only 94 planets.
Guilty or innocent.
6 of the planets weren't reformed planets. They were allied, but they weren't behind the
94
shield.
or 100, it doesn't matter. Guilty or innocent.
Not guilty.
Innocent, Your Honor.
Stanley Tweedle may perjure himself with the claim of innocence. But the real purpose of our presence here today is hardly to prove his guilt. It is well established that Stanley Tweedle's crime is the most terrible act of pure evil ever committed. We are really here to decide which punishment best fits that crime of crimes.
I'm not guilty!
Silence!
This is not a fair trial. She's already decided that he's guilty.
She does not decide. The judge decides. She is the prosecutor. It is her duty to persuade the judge that Stan is guilty.
Oh, well, she's doing a good job.
I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the special forces of the committee who patiently staked out this S02xe pleasure transport. The Tweedle, the most heinous criminal of all time, carried out his many sexual perversions.
Yeah, I wish.
One more outburst from the accused, and he shall be removed from court.
Let us go back 10 years ago to that fateful day when it all began, right here, on this very spot. At that time, the accused was an assistant deputy backup courier for the S02xe heretics, who were rendezvousing with other brave heretics struggling against the forces of his shadow. Stanley Tweedle's job was simply to carry a third backup copy of amino acids containing codes that allowed friendly ships to pass through the Reform Planet's defensive shields without being destroyed. These amino acids were hidden in a capsule in one of the archfighter's teeth. Let us play the security image recorded on this S02xe pleasure transport that fateful day.
What have I got to trade? Lots. 16 oxygen cylinders. I've got an extra uniform just like this one. And a shift navigation system. Slightly damaged.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable? That's my only other uniform. It's in perfect condition, and shift navigators are hard to come by.
Sorry, those items are unacceptable. What else do you have to trade?
Look, lady, I'm on an important mission. I'm a hero. You should give me a discount.
Information has value. It can be traded. What is your mission?
My mission? Well, it's secret, but it's very important. I wish I could tell you, but I can't.
In order to gain access to the S02xe pleasure transport, you must provide us with something of value.
I'm an S02xe heretic. I'm on an important secret mission, and that's all I can say.
What rank are you?
Assistant Deputy Backup Courier.
Welcome aboard the S02xe pleasure transport, Assistant Deputy Backup Courier Stanley Tweedle. We have a special place in our hearts for S02xe.
All right.
Let the record show that Stanley Tweedle's indiscriminate tongue helped the forces of his divine shadow to pinpoint the exact location of the S02xe heretics. And all for what, Stanley Tweedle? Was your little moment of perverse enjoyment worth the lives of 600 billion people?
The Grand Prosecutor offers no specific proof that it was Stanley Tweedle who led the forces of his shadow back to the S02xe heretics. I submit that we do not know for certain that this was the case.
Duly noted.
After effectively identifying himself and his mission, the arch-traitor returned directly to the S02xe rendezvous, leading the enemy home.
I did not identify my mission.
The Grand Prosecutor offers no specific evidence that the arch-traitor led the enemy home.
Your Honor, I would like to present that evidence now.
Proceed.
Let us turn to the final agonizing moments on the S02xe base, using images reconstructed from data recorders on the destroyed S02xe vessels, as well as from the Tweedle shuttlecraft.
Grand Prosecutor, this is Stanley Tweedle returning from the Selle's Pleasure Transport.
Vessel approaching in 3 quadrant. Identify yourself.
It's me, Assistant Deputy Backup Courier Stanley Tweedle.
All vessels to battle stations. League intruder approaching in 3 quadrant.
No! It's me, Stanley Tweedle, Assistant Deputy Backup Courier. I was just visiting the Selle's Pleasure Transport.
And here you see his shadow ship, the Mega Shadow, which clearly followed Stanley Tweedle to the Austral B base.
Divine Shadow upon me!
Let the record show that the defendant Stanley Tweedle led the forces of the Shadow directly to the Austral B station and is therefore responsible for their deaths.
Your Honor, we know that the Mega Shadow appeared suddenly and destroyed the Austral B station just as the accused returned, but it could have already been on the way. We can only speculate as to the cause, and without actual proof, Your Honor, and with all respect, these accusations on the part of the Grand Prosecutor are merely conjectural and do not carry the weight of certainty.
Yeah.
Admit you let them in, arch-traitor. Admit what we all know to be the truth.
He didn't lead them in.
You will have silence and respect from the gallery.
I know Stanley, and he would not do that.
Silence!
I will soon more directly prove the arch-traitor's guilt. Which I would like to continue to do after a short recess.
Recess granted.
Stanley, is there anything we can do for you?
Get me out of here.
Stanley, we cannot interfere with the cause of justice. Well served.
Somebody help me.
You're innocent, Stan. I know that.
I am innocent.
Welcome. This is a famous Selle's Pleasure Transport, cruising the universe to make your day a lovelier one.
I thought you were smart, Newell. But sometimes people who are too smart are actually very stupid.
I don't understand.
You seem to have developed a peculiar notion that the arch-traitor is innocent and should be set free. Or perhaps forgiven for his little transgression.
I do not personally doubt his guilt, Johanna, but I'm discharging my duty to defend him just as you requested.
Do you know why I came all the way out here to prosecute that most simple of all cases personally, Newell?
No.
I want to kill him myself. I want to be the one who sees the light go out in his eyes. You know why? Because it turns me on. Does it shock you? You're doing a fine job, Newell. But you are fired.
What?
I cannot work with someone who's too stupid to see the fine line that has to be tread. In order to be successful, you have to be astute enough to get the climate around you to anticipate my wishes. You are not cut out for this line of work.
Grand Prosecutor,
You will be leaving. Thank you, Newell. Now, I assume His shadow paid you well for the information you got from Stanley Tweedle.
That isn't true. We only let Tweedle in because he was a heretic.
Lisha, I want you to satisfy me. Will you do that?
Okay, if you like.
That will keep me going for a while. She was a whore without citizenship and has no rights. Any problems?
It's not. Oh, boy.
I'm innocent! I'm innocent!
What's going on? Where's his defender?
I do not know.
Hallowed be the memory of the lost souls.
Hallowed be the memory of the lost souls.
Where is the defendant's representative?
He has withdrawn from the case, Your Honor, claiming that his conscience could not allow him to defend a man whose guilt is so certain.
Who will represent him in defense?
He seems inclined to want to speak for himself. That's perfectly acceptable to me.
This is highly unusual. I will have
Your
to...
Honor. I request the court's permission to represent Stanley Tweedle in his defense.
And you are?
I am Kai.
I have no objection.
Permission granted. You may proceed.
Memory probe, please. His shuttle drifted aimlessly in space, calling for help. Again, we will refer to the recordings recovered from the defendant's shuttlecraft. To this, we will add memory probe evidence, which no one has ever seen, because we will only now extract it from the defendant's brain.
Astral B heretics, please come in. This is Assistant Deputy Backup Courier Stanley Tweedle. I'm low on air and awaiting instructions.
This is Sepkan Febo, Astral B Sector 245 Command. Tell us where you are, Stanley Tweedle, and we'll come and say hello.
I'm transmitting my coordinates. Can't you tell where I am by my signal, Subcom Febo?
Your direct signal is too weak. We are reconstructing reflections.
How do I know you're the real thing?
Who else would be way out here scanning low-power signals?
Mercenaries.
Suffocation is not exactly the nice way to die. Tell me, Stanley, how often do ships normally pass this way? And aren't we both transmitting on an encrypted stream I didn't know any mercenaries had access to?
Okay, I buy that.
Thank you, Stanley Tweedle. And Stanley?
Yes, Subcom Febo.
How do you spell sucker? Sucker, 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 sucker.
This is the precise moment that the arch-traitor Stanley Tweedle committed the most serious crime, delivering a death sentence upon the entire population of the Reform planets. Stanley Tweedle had enough time to destroy himself on the shuttle before the sub-nebulae mercenaries could reach him. He could have ended one life and saved 600 billion. He could have been a hero and died for the great cause. But he did not make that choice. He chose the coward's route. What happened next is well known. The subnebula is captured and sold to the accused and his codes to the Divine Order. A few weeks later, the reform planets were destroyed. Stanley Tweedle, do the images just shown accurately reflect events that led to the loss of the acid codes in your tooth?
Yes.
I rest my case.
Your Honor, may I question the accused?
You may proceed.
Do you have anything to add, Stanley?
Well, I wanted to blow up the shuttle. I did, but I couldn't do it. I was afraid to die. I mean, I wanted to, but I couldn't. I'm sorry if I caused anything to happen to the reform planets.
Why were you made a security guard on the cluster?
They wanted to keep me alive for a while in case they ever needed more information. And then I think the system just kind of forgot about me.
Did you ever meet his divine shadow?
Yes. After we stole the Lexx, his divine shadow came on board. And we followed you to the P chamber, and you started to kill the brains of the divine predecessors. And then his divine shadow tried to kill you, so me and Zev started to destroy the brains, and that distracted his shadow, and you killed him.
So you helped kill his shadow?
I did. I helped kill his divine shadow. And I'm glad I did, because it was his divine shadow that really killed the Austral Bee and all the people on the reformed planets. And there were only 94 planets, not 100.
But you do admit that you are guilty of letting the codes fall into the hands of mercenaries who sold them to his shadow.
Yes. I can finally say it, too. I should have blown myself up. I wish I had, but I didn't. I've had to live with that all this time. But I didn't kill anyone.
Your Honor, Stanley Tweedle admits that he committed the crime of letting the codes fall into the hands of the Divine Order. But I also ask that you take into consideration the fact that he played a crucial role in helping to end the rule of his divine shadow. He should be shown the mercy that befits a tainted hero. The defense rests.
I will render my decision after a short recess.
Kai, thank you. And Zev, no one's ever stood up for me like that before. Never in my whole life.
You're welcome, Stanley.
Oh, Stan.
Well, what do we do now?
We wait for the decision. It could take time.
Stanley Tweedle, you have been found guilty of the murder of 685 billion souls. Your sentence shall be passed after you have had a few moments to consult your legal representative.
You should know that the minimum punishment for murder is death.
Stanley, you must request the mercy of a quick and painless death.
But I don't want to die at all.
Kai?
He has been found guilty, Zev.
I don't care. We have to get him out of here.
That would be wrong. I cannot do it. I'm sorry, Stanley.
What's this?
Nerve bore worms. The Grand Prosecutor ordered them for the execution of the arch-traitor.
This court will now contemplate the nature of your punishment, Stanley Tweedle.
The defense requests that Stanley Tweedle be shown mercy, Your Honor, and that he be allowed the dignity of a quick and painless death.
The prosecution requests that the arch-traitor be given the ultimate punishment for the ultimate treason. That he be subjected to the nerve bore worm treatment. These worms will keep him alive, but in excruciating pain, until they have extracted every bit of nutrient from his flesh.
No.
Silence!
Your Honor, the prisoner's heroic actions in defeating his shadow merit some mercy from this court.
His actions, Your Honor, deserve a punishment far more painful than nerve bore worms. But unfortunately, one does not exist.
Stanley Tweedle deserves to be punished. But sentencing him to be tortured is an act of vengeance, not justice. An act of pure barbarism.
Were the 600 billion shown mercy?
Inflicting more pain insults the lost souls, as they are all dead. It cannot be argued that they would get any satisfaction from his torture.
How dare you speak for the dead?
I am well qualified to speak for the dead. Your Honor, I ask the court to rise above the emotion of vengeance and to display the virtue of compassion.
Your Honor, the scale of the crime demands an equivalent punishment.
Stanley Tweedle, by the powers vested in me by this court, I hereby sentence you to a quick and painless death by the most expedient means available.
Your Honor, I request that I, Grand Prosecutor Johanna, be permitted to oversee the execution of the sentence.
A request granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This court is now adjourned. Hallowed be the memory of the lost souls. Hallowed be the memory of the lost souls.
Congratulations.
Stan,
I don't want to die.
Goodbye, Stanley.
don't say that. We want to let you die, Stan.
There is nothing more we can do, Zev.
No.
I'm excited. Want to take a look?
But I'm supposed to get a quick and painless death. That's what the judge said.
Life is full of surprises. Death, for example.
You can't do this.
You know, in every society there are certain individuals who are different from normal. They could be colorblind, for instance, or have an enhanced sense of smell. Or they could get pleasure in the suffering of others. Certain tasks that others find unpleasant might have the opposite effect on them. And that could even help them in the advancement of their career. Death excites me, Stanley. Makes me feel a special tingle. Know what I mean? No death has ever excited me as much as yours.
Oh. No, we can't let him die.
It will be painless. He will feel nothing.
But he doesn't deserve it.
It has been decided.
Don't you have any feelings for Stan?
Only the living have feelings.
Sure. And how are we going to fly the Lexx?
You will start a new life that begins here.
And what about you?
I have no future.
The man Kai and the woman Seth are accessories to the arch-traitor. As citizenshipless drifters, they have no rights. I instruct you to kill them.
We will kill them at once, Grand Prosecutor.
But they didn't do anything.
Oh, I'm really really tingling now.
Stan is not an evil person.
I know. Halt!
Why? The Grand Prosecutor has deemed you to be accomplices to the arch-traitor.
Oh, she has she?
Don't we get the benefit of a trial?
You are citizenshipless drifters and have no rights.
This is not justice.
No, it's not. Gihanna brought nerve ball worms. For Stanley.
They eat their way slowly up every nerve in your body, digesting everything. But they always keep you alive. Because they don't like to eat dead flesh. The last thing they eat is your brain. But that doesn't hurt. Because that's when you finally die. It will take a few minutes for the nerve bore worms to reach you, Stanley. I recommend that you stop breathing. I especially brought these along with me, Stanley, just for you. Come on, Arch Trader. Down the hatch!
To move is to die. Do you understand?
His sentence will be carried out.
Not anymore. You are not interested in justice, Gihanna. Only cruelty.
You make the two sound incompatible.
Boy, I'm really, really glad to see you guys. You gonna kill her?
Do you think that I should? I have no motivation to kill anyone. However, I will kill her if you request that I be the enforcer of justice.
I think she deserves to. I mean, without a doubt, if anyone gets. Being a grand prosecutor, she really, especially, deserves to get. I don't know. Let's just go back to the Lexx.
Weakling!
Ignore her, Stan. Let's go.
Guilty as charged. Guilty of the greatest crime ever committed. Guilty of interfering with perfect robot love. Guilty. Guilty. Guilty!
Can you shut him up for a while?
Off for a while.
I'll be thinking of you.
You know, I've been living with it for all these years. Stanley Tweedle, arch-traitor, murderer, coward, you name it. Felt kinda good to own up.
You were brave.
Kai? Would you have killed Gihanna if I had said so?
I asked you if you wanted me to be the enforcer of justice. If you had said yes, I would have killed the Grand Prosecutor. And then I would have killed you, Stanley. But in both cases, it would have been quick and painless.
Do you really mean that?
I have no motivation to lie.
A while is up.
Okay, Lexx. Take us as far away from here as you can.
As you request, Stan.
did they find out about the nerve bow worms?
I told them.
Why?
Because, Grand Prosecutor, you are a truly evil woman.
Thank you.